I'm LeAnna Beach with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services by myself because Eric Maybe, the home inspector, was my guest today. And if you can hear the train whistle, he's stuck behind the train. He was coming from a home inspection, and he might just plop into the chair. So I really didn't have much prepared today, but I will just talk to you in general. You may know I'm a busy person. I do this. I was actually at a party, and Cheryl doesn't know the story. And by the way, if you don't know, it's Cheryl's birthday today. And I was at a party that I ride bicycles with, and one of the guys was talking to me, and I was telling him I'm on the Government Affairs Committee, and I'm on the Transit Board, and I do a few other things. And he goes, "Gosh, all you need is a TV show." And I said, "I have one of those Mondays." And he was like, "And she has a TV show." So then the other funny thing was I'm on the Transit Board, and I decided on Tuesday that I would make it the Holly Jolly Trolley and ride around on the trolley dressed as an elf. And I realized one of the other board members is Santa. And so Santa and Mrs. Claus joined me for the Holly Jolly Trolley for a while. And we rode around the new route on Douglas, which now goes from Seneca all the way to Brookside and then turns around. So you get in Clifton Square and all the restaurants past Oliver all the way almost to Edgemore. And so we had fun for a couple of hours, and I was passing out some information about myself, being a realtor. One of the people said, "You just sold my friend a house," because she couldn't recognize me because I had a wig and other items. And then the trolley driver and I met up again later in the afternoon and did it again for the WSU game at Intrust Bank Arena. I had to stop and go do my real job and attend an auction for one of my clients in the elf costume. And so I have time to change. So we resumed the Holly Jolly Trolley without Mr. and Mrs. Claus. I had to go to another event, and I did it by myself. And the bus driver said, "You even have a TV show?" And I was like, "Yes, I do." So here I am with my TV show. So those are a couple fun stories from this weekend. And if you get a chance, just go to wichitatransit.gov, and it will show you the new routes. They're only on Douglas, and it turns around at Brookside, so it picks everybody up who is coming from College Hill, Crown Heights, the old neighborhood where the station used to be located. And we have some flashing lights today. I'm really glad that the Wichita Police Department is providing red and blue blinking lights outside of our window today. I should just turn around. There is a wreck right on the corner, and they are participating in the Christmas season by bringing their lights. But I also do a newsletter, and I have a few of these here at the station if you want to pick one up. And if you want me to mail it to you, I can. I snail mail out about 500 of these every other month. And this happened to be the one from November to December, and I just haven't talked about it, so I will today. The first article just talks about thanks to all who purchased, sold, and participated in 2018. It says, in March, I celebrated with the entire city the NCAA tournament in Wichita. And by the way, they come back in 2021. In April, I was asked by Pete Meitzer, a city council person, to be on the Wichita Transit Board. I serve on a committee that meets once a month to discuss ADA and paratransit, city buses, trolleys, and now parking has been added, as well as the Zagster bicycles and the new electric Razor scooters. And then I talk about my neighbor passing away, and I had talked about that on a previous show. And I remind everybody, if you have something at your house, because this is a real estate show, that is important to you or has some important significance, make sure you photograph that or write it down what it is, and make sure somebody knows where to find it. For instance, I used to be on the radio, and I have some signed albums and stuff. For instance, I have a Christmas album signed by Martina McBride. And, you know, somebody might just go, "Oh, here's her CDs," and stack them all up. Well, a Christmas CD signed by Martina McBride is worth more than just a standard CD. So make sure that if you have something that's important like that, that it's written down, that somebody knows where to find it, knows the significance, and maybe knows if it's just a sentimental value and needs to be passed to somebody, or if it's actually worth something. So we talk about the garage sale that I held. Garage sales, I don't really like garage sales. There's a lot of work. And then it says, I spent several evenings with other business owners discussing the improvements along Douglas between Washington and Grove. There's a lot of exciting events going on there. During the Avenue Art Days, I sponsored a mural. We've talked about that. You can find that at 2018 East Douglas. It's the Mermaid. Very cool. And then I talk about my TV shows. And then I talk about my cleanup day. And in fact, Renee Fields from the city of Wichita will be my first guest in 2019 to talk about dumpster days. And then it talks about, in the meantime, I sold some houses for some buyers and sellers, a couple of pieces of land, one commercial lease, and one happy gallery owner is in a lease. We also talk about choose your agent wisely. This talks about the fact that I do residential. I'm a luxury specialist. I work with investors. I can help you build a new house. I can help you with land on building a house. I can help you with farmland. I learned how to do all of this. I've been doing this for 17 years. A lot of people just want to do one thing, and that's fine. They might just do new houses. So you'll need to find another agent to help you sell your existing home. If you're doing some farm ground, you may find an agent who knows exactly how to sell your house in the city, but knows nothing about how to help you find the ground. So ask your agent, can you help me find an agent who does what I need to do? And they will work it out amongst themselves about who gets paid the commission. You don't need to worry about that. But ask your agent instead of sticking your agent into a problem that they don't know. The best thing to do is interview agents, just like a job interview. Why can you help me sell my house? How are you planning to sell my house? What marketing are you using? Do you do open houses? Do you have a newsletter? Do you have a TV show? Things like that. So that was one of the articles that I talk about. We also were voted the best residential real estate office by the Wichita Eagle. So Berkshire Hathaway Home Services PenFed Realty won that. Also, I talk about your community police officer. We just had Charlie Davidson on a couple of weeks ago. If you want to look on my it's on Facebook, Google, I have a YouTube channel, and my LinkedIn all has all of my past shows. So Charlie Davidson was on there talking about safe neighborhoods. One of these articles just says 9, so it took 9 days from the time that I listed a house till I got a complete contract on a house for all of my listings in 2019. So my average days on market was 9. Some days it was 1, some days it was 15 on a certain house, but my average was 9. So when you interview agents, that's also a good question to ask them, is what is your typical days on market? Well, my favorite article, and I know you can't see it very well, but it's of my dog and the neighbor cat. My dog is in love with the cat across the street. She is a stray cat, and they have breakfast together, and he will actually cry if he doesn't get to see her. But the article does talk about, it's a good way to end the year and end the show, is, they're very different. A dog and a cat, a very spoiled inside dog, and a very independent outside cat. But I do talk about try to get along with your neighbors. Try to look at somebody different that's different than you, and have a good year.